Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The ceremony will begin shortly. At this time, we ask that you please silence all electronic devices. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given prompts to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the playing of our national anthem, military members stand at attention and our civilian guests place their right hand over their heart. Our host for today, Colonel Brad Rutland, Commander, 138th Fighter Wing, welcomes everyone to the groundbreaking ceremony for the 138th Fighter Wing Airmen Center. Please stand for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation by Senior Master Sergeant Andrew Frazier.
Take your seats. Let us pray. Dear Father, the airmen spoke their need and you listened. I gotta be honest, Father. The need seemed like a giant. You could have snapped your fingers and this building would have been done. But instead, you assembled a team to be your hands and feet. Lord, bless my friend Phil Lakin for his tenacity, honesty, kindness, and grit. With zero doubt, your involvement has been in this project. You had a plan for the airmen of the 138th, and slaying that giant was part of it. Thank you that you are a personal God interested in our personal lives and needs. May our airmen never forget. You see them, you value them, you protect them, you heal them, and you make a way when there seems to be no way. I reflect on your word in Isaiah that says, "But they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not be faint." This gives us hope, Father. In the days to come, guide us and protect the contractors as they construct this facility. May this building meet the objective, which is the needs of our airmen. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Senior Frazier. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome several key organizations in attendance today. Each of these groups has been vital to making this milestone possible. I ask that you please hold your applause until all organizations have been introduced. Members of the Oklahoma Joint Forces Headquarters, the Mayor of Tulsa and the City of Tulsa staff, members of the Tulsa City Council, the Tulsa Community Foundation and members of our generous philanthropic community, the State of Oklahoma Office of Management and Enterprise Services, the Tulsa Sales Tax Overview Committee, Magnum Construction, the 138th Fighter Wing Airmen Center Working Group, the 138th Fighter Wing Care Team, and commanders, chiefs, and other valued members of our community organizations in attendance today. Please join me in a round of applause for these partners and their commitment to this project. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce our host for today, Colonel Brad Ruttman.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We tried to introduce everybody individually. We timed it out, and it took almost 10 minutes. So I apologize if there weren't specific introductions for everyone, but to see all the faces here that have put this project together is really exciting. The great thing about this day is that this building is a celebration of our airmen. Our F-16s got here in 1993, and our first deployment was in 1996 for Operation Provide Comfort. So for the past 30 years, the men and women of this wing have been deploying in support of combat operations, and that takes its toll. It takes its toll on the body, it takes its toll on the spirit, on the mind, and right now, we have, over the past 3 decades, we've developed an incredible team of people to take care of our airmen. We have a director of psychological health, we have victims advocates, we have chaplains, we have family readiness, and we have a base gym. But right now that base gym is in the back of a warehouse, and we've thrown it together with what we've got. And this building is going to combine all of those together in one place. So right now, if our airmen want to go see the director of psychological health, they have to go to the back of the building in the headquarters. If they want to go see the Family Readiness Center or the chaplain, they have to go to the front of the base in a trailer. And if they want to go to the gym, they've got to go visit the prison gym that we have. So this building will combine all of that into one place for our airmen, so that they can get the physical, spiritual, psychological things that they need to be great. The second thing that's great about this is it's just an incredible collaboration. So we've got funds that are coming in from the state, we have the majority of the funds coming in from the city, and then we have our incredible airmen that have put it all together. So we're just very grateful for all the people that are here today that have contributed. There are a couple of people that I do want to thank because they probably won't get any public thanks, and that is all the people in the background that are working this project, from Lieutenant Colonel Nate Garrett to Senior Master Sergeant Andy Frazier, to the CE folks, Pat Deering, Brandon Teal, and all of the other people that sat in and made the design of this building something that the airmen would love and be proud of. As you can see across the base, we have a simulator building that's a few years old, and that itself also was a gift from the city of Tulsa. And we're so grateful. We're so grateful to the city of Tulsa for everything that they do and how they support this space. And then the last thing is, our F-16s are 1980s models. They're 1988, 89 models. So they're coming up on 40 years old. We've been flying these airplanes for 30 years, and the airplanes themselves are about 40 years old. And we still work on them, and we still make them fly, and we still do great things with them. We will take them all over the world if called to do so. But it's getting close to the time where we need to look towards the future. And one of our strategic objectives, one of the main jobs of us, for us as the senior leaders, is to get ourselves postured for the next generation fighter mission. And the simulator building was part of that. If you drove in from 46th Street in Mingo, you'll see a brand new fuels facility over there. We're working on getting a new munitions storage area so that we can store more relevant and bigger weapons closer to the base. And this building will just be another line in our resume for us to be postured for the next generation fighter mission. Right now in Washington, D.C., with Headquarters Air Force and some other organizations, they're putting together all of the criteria for the next decision on where the next fighter mission is going to go. And we want to be on the forefront of that. And this building is just another part of that. And so we're very grateful for all the people that are here. We're very grateful for all the people that have supported us here in Tulsa. And thank you so much for being here today. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce a great champion of this project. Without the steadfast commitment and tireless advocacy of Councilor Lakin, we would not be breaking ground on this facility today. Please join me in welcoming the gentleman that has spent countless hours bringing this project to fruition and whose dedication to the care of our airmen is unparalleled, Mr. Lakin.
Colonel. So Airmen of the 138th, you are the guests of honor today. Generals, Colonels, thank you so much for hosting us on your base today. This is one great day for the base, for our city, and for our state. Let me be the first to say this. You may hear it many, many times today, but I love what you guys do. I love supporting you, and I'll tell you, every citizen, at least the ones that I really, really like, love what you do as well. Some of the best decisions I've ever made involve afterburners. So riding with temper in the back seat of an F-16 that you maintain, standing with my dad's right here in the front row, behind two F-4s, which sounded like a really great idea. You'll have to say many things to him double time just because we decided to stand behind those two F-4s. And then peeking through these fences all across the airport with our three boys so that we could see those F-16s in the flight lines at 9:15 and at 1:15 on just about every single guard weekend. So the seed for this Airmen Center was planted in 2018 by a courageous group of airmen who spoke up and voiced their need to my friend, Senior Master Sergeant Andy Frazier. Andy and I began to meet, and by late 2019, then Base Commander General Beeson pledged his full support of the Airmen Center, and the rest is now history. Today, we're breaking ground on what was once just an idea, thanks not only to the airmen, but also to the deep dedication of Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Garrett, General Chad Phillips, Lieutenant Colonel Chris Wells, and Major Jay Young, all of whom markedly advanced this center and still are. The takeaway for me, airmen refused to give up, and that's ultimately why all of us are here. I'm so proud that the lead gift of $2 million came from the Tulsa City Council, supported by then Mayor G.T. Bynum and today by Mayor Nichols. Thank you to my council colleagues for supporting and championing this investment. Joining us today is Council Chair Karen Gilbert, Council Vice Chair Christian Bingle, Sarah Davis, who's our council administrator, and then with the city, Mary Womble, our projects design manager. That $2 million lead gift from Tulsa was followed by the advocacy and support of more than 20 local philanthropists who Jethro, Toad, Major Young, Andy, and I hosted on base over 2 weekends. State senators and representatives rallied behind this effort. They, along with the AG and his team, created a way to support this center with an additional $6 million. I want to specifically thank Speaker Hilbert, Representatives Hall and Hildebrandt, former Representative Boatman, Senators Haste and Rader, and so many others who toured the base, took our calls, and delivered big time. Now, $8 million is going to build a big, beautiful building. But we've all been in government buildings, and we know that sometimes they're not finished out the way they should be. So in a few more months, we will know more about the building's interior furnishings and finishes, which will likely require us to find additional sources of funding so the building can be completed in a way that better meets the needs of all of you. I want to give you, the airmen, the very best. And I believe there are corporations, foundations, and individuals who will want to give you the very best as well. And it's this final point that I want to end on. You. You are who this center is for. You are who this center has always been about since the very first day. In every tour I've given and every meeting I've attended, people of all ranks have unequivocally said, this building, this place is about our airmen. The airmen of today and the airmen of tomorrow. It's about those who serve and those who served, including those in other branches and those who are retired. It's about extending the longevity of this base for those who serve on the base and rely on it for income, training, and service to our country. It's about continuing to make this base the most valuable base in the ANG's inventory because of its people, who are all of you. This building will exist so airmen will have a place to grow stronger in every way, physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially, to stay ready, to fly, fight, and win. This is the why behind the center. And it is why the initiatives and this place matter so much. To all those who helped make today possible, thank you for believing in this vision and helping bring it to life. And to those for whom this center is being built, this must be said clearly again. We believe in you and we honor you. God bless the 138th, and let's get this dang thing built.
Thank you so much, Counselor. Your heart is shown by your actions. You've always been a very big supporter of the space, and we appreciate it. It is now my distinct pleasure to welcome a leader who knows the foundation of this space, a leader who knows its mission and its people, and it's entirely fitting that he's here breaking ground on a project that will further strengthen the initiatives that he helped to establish as the wing commander. His continued foresight and his leadership ensures our warfighters are fit to fight. We are honored to have with us Brigadier General Michael Meeson.
Well, Colonel Rutman, or Gatto, as I know him, thank you for the introduction. And I'll just echo some of the things already that have been offered today. Mayor Nichols, thank you for being here. I'll talk a little bit about competitive advantage, but the support the 138th Fighter Wing did it. I told Councilman Lakin earlier, like every time I talk about the 138th, I keep using the pronoun we because it's where I come from to the Joint State Headquarters, but I'm supposed to talk about the Oklahoma Air National Guard. Oklahoma National Guard is writ large, but across the Oklahoma Guard, we in the state of Oklahoma, we enjoy great advantage of the support of our communities, support of our cities, and the support of our state government. Mayor Nichols, thanks for your part in that. Mr. Lakin and to the rest of the Tulsa City Council, thank you for being here today. We wouldn't be here without the full support of the entire council, not just today, but as Colonel Rutman mentioned, other projects and other developments on this base are to the credit and singular credit of the support we get from the city and from the council. But as has already been said, today is about the airmen. From concept to design to all the coordination that's gotten us to this point today, it's the airmen of the 138th Fighter Wing that made it happen. I've been given some credit for the foundation of this project, but all I did was say go. I had ideas presented to me. The only value I added was just releasing those airmen, those experts to go get the job done. So thanks to all those that have been mentioned. And leaders from the front from the very beginning. Lieutenant Colonel Garrett, Senior Master Sergeant Fraser, thank you for your efforts along the way. And on behalf of General Mancino, the Adjutant General of Oklahoma, that unrivaled community support and state support is a competitive advantage, not just for the 138th Fighter Wing, but for the Oklahoma National Guard as a whole. A prior wing commander to myself even established three words that define the priorities of the 138th Fighter Wing, and that's readiness, lethality, and relationships. This Airmen Center is about the two R's, readiness and relationships. Readiness of the airmen and the pillars of health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and family support, but also the relationships within the unit, within the community of the 138th Fighter Wing itself. This building, when finished, will be a forum to support relationship and team building, in addition to the pillars of fitness that we talked about. And the relationships with the community that have already been highlighted, and evidence all across the base, from the Mission Training Center, the SIM facility that Colonel Rutman spoke of, to include the land lease that the 138th Fighter Wing was granted years ago to provide the acreage for the fuel storage facility and the future munition storage area across the street, all a product of the community support and those relationships. And this also is a demonstration of a nexus of priorities. Priorities from the National Guard. If the Chief of the National Guard Bureau was here today, he would talk about always ready, always there. The readiness of our airmen and the availability, the readiness of the National Guard, Army and Air National Guard, to support our communities when needed. We've seen multiple instances over the years of major incidents where we have large numbers of Oklahoma National Guard supporting everything from the floods in 2019 to wildfires just a few weeks ago here in the state. And there's teams on mission right now within the state of Oklahoma supporting local authorities today as we speak. Our Oklahoma Adjutant General's priorities are all about readiness and developing people, and there's a clear nexus of developing our airmen and their pillars of health and strength that this Airmen Center will provide them. But also that readiness is for service to our nation, to our state, to our communities, which is part of the mission statement of the 138th Fighter Wing. And this Airmen Center will demonstrate tangibly, physically, the priorities that the wing leadership and most importantly the community has provided for them to support that readiness. And the vision of the 138th Fighter Wing that I can maybe take a little bit more credit for informing years ago with Colonel Ruttman and a lot of the leadership here today is about next generation airmen, building our airmen to support not just the current day mission but the future fight and being ready for everything in between. And also preparing the 138th Fighter Wing to be a lead competitor for a future fighter mission when identified. Just yesterday, the Air Force announced a plan to double the number of F-15EXs that the Air Force would like to procure in the future. But coincidentally, the difference in number between the previous program of record and the new program of record is 138. Coincidence, providence, I don't know, time will tell. But whether it's an F-35A produced by Lockheed Martin or an F-15EX produced by Boeing or a new version of an F-16, a Block 70 that hasn't yet been designed yet, the 138 stands ready today and stands as a competitive advantage, not just for Tulsa, but for the state of Oklahoma and for the nation. Because the airmen this center supports, Oklahoma enjoys, and this community enjoys great support across the military, no matter where you go. If you go somewhere in uniform, throughout the 16 years I've spent in Oklahoma now, I always get thanks for my service in uniform, and all of our airmen and soldiers enjoy that. But in the National Guard, it's different, it's special, because it's not just a member of the military that happens to be living and working in your community for a couple of years, but the airmen on this base and the airmen and soldiers of the Oklahoma National Guard, they are Oklahomans, they are Tulsans, they are have grown up, lived and worked, and will continue to do so in your community. So it's an investment not just in the future mission, the current mission, but it's an investment in the community and the leaders of tomorrow, both inside and outside the gate. So with that, again, thanks for letting me speak here today. I appreciate the invitation, and it does mean a lot to me personally to turn some dirt and get this project kicked off. Colonel Ruttman, are you going to introduce the mayor, or should I do that? Very good, awesome. Well, with us today, our guest of honor, Mayor Nichols. Thank you, sir, for being here today. Appreciate your support, and the podium is yours.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is an absolute pleasure to be here this morning as someone who, as I do oftentimes actually, I get to walk into an amazing project. A project that started before I got here, but a project that I'm very excited to be here to support and to continue to support. That is because the 138th Fighter Wing plays a critical role in our state and our nation's security. Right here in Tulsa, these airmen stand ready to serve, protect, and respond whenever they're called. Their dedication and sacrifice are unmatched, and they deserve our full support. And so it is with that I am so honored to be here for the groundbreaking. It represents something bigger than a building. Today is an opportunity for all of us who live under the cover of protection provided by the military to show a little bit of our appreciation and to maybe support in a small way the readiness of the 138th. We do this because we recognize that readiness is not just about the mission, it's also about the people. When gaps were identified in both physical fitness and mental wellness here on the base, it became clear that it was time for Tulsa citizens to step up. It has been mentioned, but I think maybe it makes sense to mention it again. We all owe a debt of gratitude to my colleague, our colleague, Phil Lakin, for his leadership in getting this done, and to every counselor who was on the council at the time, and my predecessor for making sure that Tulsa is very much invested here at the base. They were both announced already, but I do want to recognize our council chair, Karen Gilbert, and our vice chair, Christian Bingle, a veteran of the U.S. Army. Thank you, counselor, for your service. Fighting the wind, man. Woo. But this project, as mentioned before, is a result of a strong partnership between local government, our state leaders, military leadership, philanthropic supporters, and it's amazing how everybody came together to align priorities, committing resources to make what once was a vision a reality. We recognize that airmen are held to high physical standards. I was sitting over with General White, and he tells me, first of all, I got to say this, General, I don't think you know how competitive I am in Oklahoma City. And he was just simply telling me how the one there's been completed, and it's a big deal. I was like, wait, theirs is already done? You got me. I was like, we gotta speed this thing up to catch up with Oklahoma City. But what he did share with me is how well utilized the center is in Oklahoma City. He was number one in usage rate. He just told me he took one trip, and he's fallen down to number 5 on the list. So what I know from that story is that this wellness center is going to be well used. And we know airmen are held to high physical standards. And the fact that we didn't have a facility where we could bring all those under one roof was something of a focus. At the same time, as we talk about physical standards, we know mental health is critically important as well as we think about maintaining a strong and steady force. And so the Airmen's Wellness Center is a direct response to the needs that we all knew were apparent. Once complete, this nearly $10 million facility will provide space for fitness, recreation, and mental health support. It's an investment not just in infrastructure, but in people. And so the City of Tulsa is proud to have played a role to make this happen, again with the support of the City Council, my predecessor in the Mayor's office. The $2 million from the American Rescue Plan toward this project was something to kick it off, but it really was this whole community coming together. I can't imagine a better use for funds from the American Rescue Plan than a wellness center here on base. But it's not the first time it's mentioned this community has stepped up. Voters have consistently invested in the base. $9 million training facility, $19 million fuel depot, ensuring that the 138th has the tools and resources needed to succeed. We do these things in Tulsa because we are proud to be the home of the 138th and are aware of the courage that each member displays on a daily basis. Now, we all recognize that right now our country finds itself in the midst of a conflict. We know that war, no matter how noble our mission, promises agony and tragedy. No one knows this more than the folks who we send to fight those wars. And so I want each of you to know, everybody serving, that the prayers of the city, whether it be in peacetime or wartime, are with each of you. And I hope this contribution to your well-being is a sign of our support, our gratitude, and our commitment to you in the days to come. Because when we invest in the well-being of our airmen, we strengthen not only this base, but our entire community, our state, and our nation. To everyone who helped make this possible, again I say thank you. I'm proud of what we're building today, but I'm most proud of those who are building it for. God bless.
Thank you again to our key speakers and for all of you being here today. At this time, I would like to invite the following individuals to the front for the official groundbreaking ceremony, in order from left to right. Colonel Brad Ruttman, Mr. Phil Lakin, Senior Master Sergeant Andrew Frazier, Ms. Karen Gilbert, Brigadier General Mike Meeson, Mayor Monroe Nichols, Ms. Mary Womble, Mr. Nick Redwine,
Can you give that to Council Gilbert? And Craig and I don't know, but her hair's gonna get.
Yeah, we're gonna need it. When you're done with you, then we'll look this way. Yep. Yeah, look, yeah, do yours first. Right here to her first.
Right here, 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Bill, okay, you have to take a shovel full first.
Hold it.
Get a big shovel full, Andy. Come on.
Hold it. Yep. We gotta hold it
Okay,
right
everybody
here.
ready? Everybody ready? One. Are we gonna just turn it over? Or we gotta throw it. Okay, let's toss it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. That's a win. That's a win.
All right.